The moment a man stops being hypnotized by appearances, his whole world changes. It is not outer circumstance that binds him, but his belief in it. Many go through life as though they are beggars before the throne of God, when in truth they are heirs to the kingdom. The old paradigm, the false idea, says, I must struggle, strive, and survive. But the spiritual man says, I walk in grace, I rest in supply, I command with the word. This is the great secret that lies before you now, to turn your eyes away from the world of facts and lift them to the world of truth. Facts are the children of fear. Truth is the child of faith. When you believe in what you see, you are ruled by shadows. When you believe in the unseen, you are ruled by spirit. One is bondage, the other is dominion. This is the shift that changes everything. The old paradigm tells man to obey conditions, to serve fear, to plan around lack, to rehearse defeat. It whispers, be realistic. But what is more realistic than divine law? What is more true than the perfection of infinite spirit? The man who walks by sight walks into darkness, for appearances are often false guides. But the one who walks by vision walks in light. He sees beyond what is and into what must be. Eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. So why should you trust appearances? Why give them authority over your destiny? What you see is not what is, it is what was. It is only the result of yesterday's thoughts. If you do not like the harvest, plant a new seed. If you do not like the picture, speak a new word. There is no truth in lack, delay, or disease. There is only truth in the Word of God. When man aligns with this inner knowing, he ceases to chase and begins to receive. This one paradigm shift, the movement from outer dependency to inner dominion, is the turning point of all demonstration. When you stop asking the world to approve you, to promote you, to bless you, and instead realize you are the open channel through which blessings flow, the entire rhythm of your life changes. You become magnetized by the Word. You become a spiritual broadcast station, and your spoken decrees shape the conditions of your world. This is not imagination. It is law. The law of substitution. The law of cause and effect, and the law of expectancy are always operating. When you reject fear and substitute it with divine faith, the tide turns. The fog lifts. The doors swing open. And so we come to the revelation. The spiritual world is the real world. The unseen is the realm of first cause. Everything you now see, your home, your work, your body, is but an echo of thought. The house you live in was first imagined by an architect. The job you hold was first created in the mind of another. All form is the end of an invisible chain, and thought is the beginning. To change your world, you must change your thought, and to change your thought, you must change your word. Speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. You are not the victim of circumstances, you are the master of conditions. When you walk by spirit, you are not a puppet of fate, you are a co-creator with the infinite. The old paradigm told you to survive. The new paradigm commands you to create under grace in perfect ways. Fear is only faith inverted. It is having faith in evil, faith in lack, faith in misfortune. What a man continually fears, he draws to himself, for his subconscious accepts fear just as easily as faith and acts upon it without judgment. But the wise soul, rooted in spirit, knows that every negative thought must be cast out and replaced. This is the law of substitution. You cannot hold two opposing beliefs at once. The moment you feel fear, you must speak faith, not later, not when you feel strong, but immediately with authority. Declare, there is nothing to oppose my good. Infinite intelligence now goes before me, making clear, smooth, and perfect my path. This is not denial. It is spiritual discipline. You are not ignoring the storm. You are standing in its midst and commanding peace. Man's mind is a garden, and fear is a weed that must be uprooted. Every anxious thought, every dread-filled word is a seed of limitation. But the word of God is the seed of demonstration. You cannot speak defeat and expect victory. You cannot meditate on sickness and call forth health. Let the weak say, I am strong. This is not poetic. It is practical law. When you substitute a fear thought with a faith statement, you begin to rewire the invisible. You send a new blueprint into the ethers, and according to your word, it is done unto you. If fear says, there's not enough, speak back, my supply is endless, for God is my unfailing resource. If fear whispers, you are alone, answer boldly, God goes with me, and angels go before me. You must outtalk your fear. You must outdeclare it. Do not wait for courage to feel natural. Speak it anyway. Your words shape your reality far more than your feelings ever will. The subconscious does not argue. It only obeys. When you say, I am safe, I am supplied, I am guided, the law begins to rearrange circumstances in your favor. Fear may still knock at the door, but it cannot enter a mind that has been filled with truth. The truth is, there is nothing to fear, for God is everywhere. The moment you substitute fear with faith, you change the vibration of your life. Your body feels it. Your surroundings respond to it. Your next step becomes clear. Fear is a liar. It predicts pain that never comes. But faith is a builder. It constructs a future already blessed, already prepared, already given. Many walk the earth waiting to feel brave before they act. But the spiritual man acts from divine knowing, not emotional comfort. He has learned the sacred art of substitution. When I am afraid, I will trust. He speaks the opposite of what he sees. He declares health where the world sees illness. He speaks abundance where the bank says lack. He blesses enemies and watches mountains move. He does not beg God. He commands with God's own word. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. When fear rises, meet it at the door with faith and say, I knew you were coming, but I've already prepared truth to replace you. And so it is. Words are alive. They are not mere sounds or syllables, but spiritual forces clothed in vibration and sent forth to accomplish that which they are charged to do. Every word spoken with faith becomes a living thing, carving, commanding, creating. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. The law is exact. The word of God in your mouth is just as powerful as the word of God in the beginning, for it is the same spirit, the same law, the same power. The moment you speak a word in divine authority, believing it to be true, the wheels of invisible substance begin to turn. Supply is not earned. It is spoken into visibility. You do not wait for conditions to change before you speak. You speak, and the conditions obey. Most people speak idly, carelessly, thoughtlessly, and then wonder why life becomes a reflection of their confusion. But the awakened soul watches every word. They do not say, "I'm tired, I'm broke, I'm worried," for such phrases plant seeds that must grow. Instead, they speak as one already standing in the fulfillment of answered prayer. I am renewed day by day. I am prosperous in all ways. I am calm and certain, for my path is directed by infinite intelligence. Words shape the body. Words shift the atmosphere. Words rearrange matter itself. The spoken word reaches farther than the arm, deeper than the mind, and faster than thought. It enters the subconscious, deposits its message, and returns bearing fruit. Invisible supply is always present, waiting for command. It is not created, it is revealed, and the key to its revelation is the word. Man says, "There is no way." Spirit says, "I am the way." Man says, "I lack." Spirit says, "All that the Father hath is mine." You must choose whose voice you echo. When you speak limitation, you bind yourself. When you speak truth, you liberate yourself. You are never speaking into a void, you are speaking into the law. The law hears everything. It is the faithful servant of the spoken word. It does not judge, it does not delay, it does not forget. It simply fulfills. To command the invisible supply is to walk in conscious partnership with Spirit. It is not demanding, but declaring. Not wishing, but knowing. Not pleading, but proclaiming. You do not say, "I hope it will come." You say, "It is already mine, under grace, in perfect ways." And though the form may tarry, the substance is already established. Speak of things that are not as though they were, and they shall appear. This is the secret of all demonstration. Those who know the power of the word fear nothing, for they know that conditions do not shape the word. The word shapes conditions. Let your word be clean, direct, and filled with spiritual fire. Say nothing you do not wish to see multiplied. Do not curse your day by idle complaint. Bless it with prophecy. Do not speak of delay, speak of divine order. Do not speak of confusion, speak of perfect guidance. Every word becomes flesh. Every decree builds the framework of your future. The invisible supply is not far off. It is here, now, awaiting your voice. Speak, and it moves. Declare, and it forms. Align your word with the will of God, and all things will be added unto you. Faith without action is daydreaming, and action without faith is toil. But when faith and action walk together, hand in hand, miracles unfold. Faith in action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is the moment when man steps beyond logic, beyond delay, and walks boldly toward his good, not because he sees it, but because he knows it is there. Divine intuition becomes his compass. Divine confidence becomes his strength. He no longer waits for conditions to change before moving. He moves in order to cause the change. This is true obedience to Spirit. Not to fear, not to the facts, but to the still, small voice that whispers, "Go forth. Your supply is waiting." The mistake many make is to sit still in the name of faith, while secretly nursing doubt. They affirm with the lips but deny with their feet. They say, "I believe God will make a way," and yet never prepare for the way to appear. This is not faith, it is fancy. Real faith acts. Real faith knocks on doors. Real faith makes room, sets the table, builds the ark, even when no rain is in sight. Show me thy faith without works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Action is not meant to create the good. It is meant to receive the good already prepared. When you walk by faith, each step declares, it is done. It is finished. I now walk into it. The woman who believes she shall have her perfect home begins to pack. The man who believes his right work is at hand prepares his desk. The one who trusts that love is coming clears the space in their heart and life. This is not pretense. It is prophecy. It is divine order in motion. Faith in action is not anxious striving. It is graceful movement. It does not scramble or chase. It aligns, listens, and follows the instruction given by Spirit. Sometimes the action is bold, quitting a job, turning down a wrong offer, taking a leap. Sometimes it is small, writing a letter, making a list, showing up on time. But in every case, it is a signal to the universe. I am ready. I am willing. I am receiving. Many think they must fix the condition first and then believe. But in the realm of spirit, belief comes first and the condition must yield. You do not clean the canvas before painting. You paint and the picture appears. So too with your life. You take the step and the way opens. You say the word and the wall dissolves. You move forward and the road builds itself beneath your feet. Fear says, what if it doesn't work? But faith says, what if it already has? You are not waiting for the bridge to be built. You are building it with every faithful act. And you do not walk alone. Divine forces walk with you. Angels respond to movement. Heaven honors motion. So act not from panic, but from knowing. Speak your word and then walk in the direction of its fulfillment. If your prayer was already answered, how would you live? Then live that way. If your supply was already yours, how would you act? Then act that way. Faith action is not just movement. It is agreement with the Spirit of truth. When you move, you prove. When you step, you summon. When you act in faith, all of heaven moves on your behalf. Expectation is the atmosphere in which miracles are born. It is the magnetic field of manifestation. What you expect, you invite. What you prepare for, you receive. The law is simple. The universe responds not to idle hope, but to deep, unwavering expectancy. Hope is passive. Expectation is active. It is faith in motion. It is the soul's silent decree. I know it is coming. I know it is mine. I now prepare to receive. Without expectation, even the most powerful affirmation can be weakened. But with expectation, the smallest word can move mountains. There is a spiritual posture that draws demonstration, and it is readiness. When you are truly ready, the thing appears. Spirit never withholds. It is man who delays through doubt, fear, or passive wishing. But when you expect the miracle, prepare for the answer, and walk as though it were already done. The law is set into motion. According to your faith be it unto you. And what is faith but confident expectation? Do not say, I'll believe it when I see it. Say instead, because I believe it, I shall see it. That is divine law. To expect is to anticipate, not with anxiety, but with joy. The woman expecting a child prepares a room, chooses a name, gathers what is needed. She does not wonder if the child will come. She knows when. So it must be with your good. Do not ask, will it come? Say, it is now coming. Set the table. Open the space. Make the room. This is not fantasy. This is spiritual alignment. When the subconscious mind is programmed by expectation, it begins to attract people, situations, and divine ideas to fulfill it. Expectation becomes instruction to the law. This is what I'm ready for. This is what I claim. You must expect the best, not just generally, but specifically. If you desire a new home, expect it to be beautiful, peaceful, and filled with light. If you desire right work, expect it to be joyful, prosperous, and a blessing to others. General expectation brings general results. Precise expectation brings precise manifestation. Do not say, I hope something good happens. Say, I now expect a divine surprise, something far greater than I imagined. Under grace and in perfect ways, speak it in the morning. Thank God for it at night. Watch as heaven rushes to meet you. Expectation also purifies the heart. You cannot truly expect your good and remain bitter, fearful, or anxious. The soul that expects a miracle walks in peace. There is no hurry, no panic, no forcing. For what is already prepared cannot be lost. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be blocked. What is yours by divine right is on its way, and your expectation is the door that allows it to enter. Begin now to expect on purpose, not casually, not conditionally, but consciously. Say, something wonderful is happening to me now. I expect the impossible to become possible. I expect the miraculous to be natural. I expect heaven to pour out its blessings, for I am aligned with the divine. Then watch what unfolds. Your word has gone forth. Your faith has spoken. Your expectation has magnetized. The demonstration is inevitable. Divine timing is never late, and divine law is never wrong. To align with both is to dwell in peace while all things are being prepared. Most people live in delay, not because their good is far off, but because they resist the rhythm of spirit. They rush, they force, they doubt, and in doing so, they interfere with the perfection already in motion. The soul that walks with God's law understands that what is theirs cannot be withheld, and what is not theirs cannot be forced. There is no competition in the divine. There is only perfect selection, perfect unfolding, perfect order. When man releases his anxious grasp and steps into alignment, the law begins to operate with precision. Infinite Spirit is never too late. Divine selection is never wrong. This is not a hope, it is a fact. The timing of God often defies logic because it moves outside of time. It is not slow, it is strategic. Your answered prayer may not arrive when your emotions desire it, but it will arrive when your spirit is ready to receive it. The delay is often in the mind, not in the heavens. The moment you declare, the word is established. But manifestation comes when the soil is right, when the path is clear, when you have grown into the vessel that can hold the blessing. To align with divine law is to release personal will. It is to say, not my way, but thy perfect way. Not my time, but thy appointed time. This is not passive surrender. It is active trust. It is understanding that pushing against doors blocks the one that is already open. It is knowing that anything forced is never truly yours. When you trust divine law, you stop scrambling and start receiving. You stop manipulating and start magnetizing. You stop pleading and start proclaiming. Alignment brings rest, and in that rest, the answer comes. God's perfect law does not make mistakes. It does not give you what you cannot carry. It does not rush just because you are impatient. It does not forget your request, even when the appearance says otherwise. The universe is an exact mirror of your state. When you are aligned in thought, word, and expectation, the mirror must reflect the image you have impressed. When you are out of alignment, through fear, doubt, or striving, you distort the image and the reflection is delayed. Realignment comes through silence, stillness, and speaking truth. Say often, I now align with God's perfect law. My timing is perfect. My path is clear. My demonstration is sure. Then release it. Trust the invisible choreography. Trust that behind the scenes, all things are being worked together for good. Even your seeming detours are divine design. Even the closed doors are guidance in disguise. Your part is not to control the sequence, but to remain faithful in your word, consistent in your expectancy, and peaceful in your soul. Divine law does not operate by chance. It is not moved by panic. It is only moved by principle, and you are the one who activates it through alignment. When you say, this or something better now manifests for me under grace in perfect ways, you surrender personal control and open to higher guidance. And the law, always exact, begins to fulfill its promise. Let go of the stopwatch. Release the urgency. Align with truth, and time will serve you. The timing of God is a sacred rhythm. When you move with it, everything flows. When you resist it, even blessings feel burdensome. So say now, in God's perfect time and by His unfailing law, all things are made manifest for me now. And rest in that knowing.